But now, because I'm literally doing something totally new and I'm thinking about it constantly, incessantly, in fact, it might come across as if, like, I don't know, I'm not having fun or whatever it is, but genuinely, I'm having the most fun that I've had since starting this series. I really wanted a new challenge, and I didn't want it to be a painting, and I wanted it to something that expanded the world of Ojiji, and I wanted it to be something that I genuinely wanted to do. And I came into this with an open mind and everything like that, because I know that I wanted to make my life-size bronze sculpture, right? I had to really say, okay, let's pare this back a bit and reverse engineer what it would mean for me to make such a thing, right? And now, you know, we have Ojiji, the prototype, and honestly, just super excited at the prospect of this being real. Yeah, so this being real, this being something I get to share with people, and this being something that means a lot to me. Listen, I'm at a loss for words that I get to do this. I get to have this much fun doing something that I've wanted to do for ages. And it's one of those things where, because sculpture is such a natural part of the way that I want to make art, I've really, you know, been in my ways. I've been out of sorts a little bit as well. For all of the trappings, I'm just so happy that this is what I'm doing. This is how it's turning out. This is what it looks like. And I appreciate it all. And this is turning out great. And all the work that I want to do from here, it's just the same thing exactly. We're on day 20, right? I've dropped a video on YouTube. I'm dropping so many videos on YouTube, in fact. I'm doing reels, not reels, shorts. I'm doing YouTube shorts, and I'm doing long form YouTube videos. And it's like, yo, I'm really doing the thing that I like doing, as well as doing all the other things. Because that's the thing that, like, is not really highlighted in these videos, is that I'm still going to work. I've been going to work so much. It is, you know, there is still family stuff going on, as in, like, the life of, you know, looking after a house, you know what I mean? Friend stuff, socializing. Of course, like, I don't think anyone really wants to see me do a vlog, so I'm not gonna be showing all of those things. But I do think it's important to at least note that on day 20, I haven't spent the most amount of time making this, but the time that I have spent making this, I have enjoyed it. And it means the world, because I get to take my mind out of all of the rubbish that's been going on in my life, and I get to be excited about something. The world, because
Ojiji San.
And I get to be
Ojiji San.
the world, because
And
I get to be
and
I get to be. So I have this times one of these, essentially. We have it like that. But yeah. But, you know, I actually think it's a little bit more fun this way. Because, like, every single second of the day, there is always time to go chase your dreams. This is the 1st and the 15th, hosted by myself, Damadici. Let's go. It's about time, innit? And it's going to be 30 centimeters tall. Just find the center and then see where do I want all this model, where it's going to be. It's going to stand this tall. It's hollow on the inside. The gems are free, the work isn't. Or up there. I line it, so I have to ensure that perfect. I glue it onto the arm. Before everything dries, let's lock in.
Ojiji San.
Forgot to press record. This is the head. This is gonna be this soon. So as you can see, yeah. So this is gonna turn into this today. I'm not attaching the head, mainly because like I've noticed that it's probably gonna be better if I just attach it afterwards, and it's nice to just have a head to throw around like this. Let's go. Okay, so the next thing that I'm doing is doing the face. So it's gonna be the top part and the bottom part. I'm really just going off eye right now. I'm gonna make it a little. I'm actually gonna cut it a little bigger. I've actually started to notice with cutting it a little bigger helps. Like just like in fashion, really. If you can see, it could, but I won't. It could, but I won't. So technically, it's gonna be like that. So I could. Let me see if I can actually draw a perpendicular line. Yeah, I couldn't actually draw a full perpendicular line, so I'm not going to. The kind of hopeless part about this is nothing. These are box cutters, but they don't do as well as my scalpel. My scalpel is literally like my best friend right now. And the blades last longer. This bit is to just go like this. Alrighty then. This is just going to cover this place. The one thing though is that I was thinking whether I should make this softer or flatter, but I do want it to be sturdy. That's the problem. So I think like having it any thinner, because I was gonna use lightweight cardboard, but that would mean just like more reinforcement here and here. Good work. Alright, so I'm doing this and, well, the head, right? Got the front done, but I don't want to use this piece of cardboard just purely for aesthetic reasons. It is what it is. So I guess, but what I'm doing now is I'm kind of just trying to figure out how to draw the net on this piece of cardboard, which is proving quite difficult. Like I was saying before, like I wanted to use thinner cardboard, so I wanted to use this. I wanted to use a net of another piece of recycled cardboard that I used, that I found, I reclaimed, it's mine. And cut the head essentially out of that, but I just wanted it to be heavier. And now while I'm doing the side of the face, it is a bit, you know, it's a discovery process, and I don't know whether it's gonna be cool if I talk through it or not. But yeah, it's like trying to create a net, trying to create a pattern just so that each one fits in together. So one thing I've done is I've created a line. Alright, I've created a line right there, and that line is the end. so that when I actually use this piece, which I slotted out a piece of cardboard for it, it slots in together and they are flat on. But I need this there just so that when I'm working it, it doesn't actually move, because it can actually complete the line and it won't work on the back if I did that. Of course I've got a left and a right side. Okay, I just realised something. You saw how I was angling it to see how big it should be. Da, 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 da. I just realised it has a bottom. So I should be designing the bottom of this instead of designing the sides, so that I know what the actual box is going to look like. I can't believe I did that. It was a bit ridiculous of me to do it like that. Okay, so now I've got this there. It actually fits. It actually does fit. I was thinking how I'm going to glue it though, because as you can see here, they fit almost too well. And I was thinking that this one should have some overhang, so that once it's glued here, that it should, like, I should glue it all along these bits. Like once it's glued in the middle, the cross section, I'll have the overhang and I'll glue that, and then I'll stick the two side pieces onto it. That was essentially my plan. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start framing it now.
Ojiji San.
One of the main things, ensuring that it has enough space, because an additive process, but it's also a subtractive process. And the main portion of me creating this is quite subtractive. I'd rather cut extra pieces off, try to glue another piece. That's one thing I've learned, especially when I'm using the hot glue gun. So what I'm gonna do actually is, yeah, see, look how tall that is. That's very, very tall for an object of this size. So instead of just cutting it off, I'm gonna pull it down. So yeah, instead of just cutting it off, I'm just gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna add the extra sides, boom, like this. What I don't want to do with myself, I'm gonna do both the front and the back on this piece, is to act as if I'm coming from a place of lack. One thing I don't like to do when creating is coming from a place of like lack or fear of loss or something to that effect, because I've noticed that when I think that I'm gonna miss out on something, or when I'm creating something, that if I'm coming from a place of lack, then it's really gonna hinder my creation process of the object. And as you can tell, like when I'm making this, it's legitimately just like I'm making the net of an object. So it's really just a 2D form coming 3D. And because I've studied industrial design anyways, it makes it much simpler for me to do this, because yeah, industrial design isn't that hard for me nowadays, fairly. Back in the day, of course it was. But because I made 3D objects and I know how to create a net in like on Maya, on 3ds Max, Blender, whatever it is, I can do it here and it won't be like that big of a deal. Let's just cut this now. Oh, that's the one thing. Let's go. See, the thing is, while I'm making this, I'm also recording on TikTok. Not recording, sorry, I'm on live on TikTok, which is like such an interesting place for me nowadays. So technically I'm not talking to myself. Being on TikTok live right now is my little cheat code for like explaining things. And when I'm able to explain something to myself or others, it's almost as if I'm teaching. I'm teaching myself and I'm teaching others, so it's actually not that bad. Sure that this is gonna stay. But the problem is with TikTok live, there's certain things that I can't say. Not that I want to say anything mad, but there's also certain things I don't know if I can do. So like I'm using a scalpel right now to cut through my cardboard, and I'd rather be cautious and not show that on TikTok because I've been cutting a lot. But yeah, I'm low-key though in my happy place doing all of this stuff, so I don't actually mind. I don't mind talking to myself with this because it's absolutely beautiful. This is like the most fun that I have like during the week, making Ojiji San. Ojiji San is like easily my favorite project right now. It's not even a project because it's literally part of the bigger project of all the paintings that I'm creating. So legitimately it's technically an experiment. This is the prototype to the life-size Ojiji San. I was supposed to do this at my art residency, and after a conversation with my mentor, who's like an absolutely amazing lady, absolutely amazing, shout out Jennifer if you're watching this. Yeah, so after a chat with her, I had to realize that like I'm not doing a residency just for the sake of doing a residency. And I shouldn't do a residency just for the sake of doing a residency, do you know? This is for myself, better at my craft. So the residency that I do pick to do this type of work on is important. So now that's clearly labelled. I obviously have to do this one as well. But I know because of the way that I made this, and I literally just finished making it, I can write it also. So this is what I'm doing right now. Nice little cheat code for talking to yourself is to be on live. This is down, so now whenever I'm doing these things, so like I do a line, because I'm making this right now and I'm not leaving my desk until it's made. Like that's what I am as a painter. I'm a sitter. So what that means is I can go a marathon. Like I trained for as hard as I do, I train, and as long as I do for these particular moments. I eat well, I sleep well, I relax just so that I can work for 8 hours straight. So yeah, I just need to line it up, honestly. It's a little bit easier. Yeah. Let me just rip this. There we go. But yeah, in my talk with Jennifer, she was like to me, yeah, you know, you got accepted into a residency. She was very nice about it also. She was like, yeah, you got accepted into a residency, but is this where you want to do the work? Is this where your work belongs, you know? In not so many words. And, you know, she let me come to the conclusion by myself. Literally, I cannot wait to have mentees. I cannot wait so that I can pay it forward. That's literally all I want right now. Not all I want, sorry. That was ridiculous. That was actually ridiculous of me to say. So now, it fits in again. I did slice the back of it. I did. But it is what it is. It's essentially this, which is going to cause problems to that bit because it's cut now. But what I can do is put like another piece of cardboard over the face. Glue these pieces to it. Plus, I wanted the head bigger.
Ojiji San.
These pieces. Now I have it bigger. Oh no, I damn it. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna slit it. It's perfect stuff. Ooh, look. Ah, nice. And just, you know. This will be good debris for when I glue it, because I'm gonna glue it now. Because it looks like it's good enough to glue now. Like it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is actually quite phenomenal, honestly. Ah, nice. Now they need to do the exact same to the opposite side. So now I've scored the inside very simply, super duper rudimentary. Super rudimentary. Now I just have to do the same thing with this side. Oops, let's just go like this. There you go. Look at that. Almost perfect. Do you want to do that again? Perfect. Trying to figure out which orientation all of these sides are. I actually need to right now talk. Alright. So this is the inside, but it's the left. This is the inside, but this is the right. On this side, on the inside. So all of these things put together will look like this eventually. But I do think that this is too tall. So yeah, after my little connection, not even a connection, I fried myself thinking about this. I cut this a little bit, so it's down to size quite the bit. Sorry, I keep doing this. The front is here. The right side is actually here. This is what the right side looks like. This is the top. So now, look at this. Now look, the top matches bottom to actually draw a line there. Just make sure that these things are, I'll do a little bit and then I'll do a lot. Okay, so I've sufficiently scored the inside of it now. So like I scored this bit, I scored this bit, I made this bit bigger on the right side. So now when I fit this slot right in there, ooh, let me just go for it. Together, that's the problem.
Ojiji San.
Once I've just made the decision. But yeah, perfect. We love them. That's good, man. Alright, so I think this is too big. Lop off the head top. So all of this is coming off. Just gonna be smaller like that. Hopefully that works. U4 swap. There we go. Open up the cranium. It actually looks better on camera because it kind of resembles that one now.
Ojiji San.
In Jesus' name, amen. In the darkness. So what do I say? Continue to be the person that you know you can be. Continue to go after all the things that you love. Never stop. This is the 1st and the 15th. Hosted by myself, Damadici. Let's go. 15th.
Ojiji San.
Hosted by myself,